Diabetes is often associated with obesity and lack of exercise. It can lead to blindness, kidney failure, amputation of the feet, heart disease, and stroke. In January 2008, health experts issued a warning that an alarming number of new cases of diabetes were being diagnosed every day in the U.S. There are now at least 21 million Americans with diabetes, out of a total of 180 million people around the world diagnosed with the disease. Dr. William Russell is with Vanderbilt Children's Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee.
There's no reason whatsoever at this point to think that we've reached the peak of this epidemic.
The World Health Organization reported that without urgent action, diabetes-related deaths around the globe will increase by more than 50% in the next 10 years. By February, international health experts were sounding the alarm about a severe strain of tuberculosis that appeared to be resistant to drugs normally used to treat the disease. In 2008, the World Health Organization said the number of new drug-resistant cases of TB were the highest ever recorded. Ukraine and Azerbaijan accounted for more than 20% of those new cases. The WHO warned there could be a tuberculosis pandemic unless the disease was brought under control. In March, there was a setback in the development of a vaccine for HIV and AIDS infections. Scientists met to chart the next step in research after 2 human clinical trials of a potential vaccine were halted. The trials in North and South America, the Caribbean, Australia, and South Africa concluded that the drug was ineffective for many patients, and the risk of getting the disease was increased for others. Dr. Anthony Fauci is a leading expert on HIV and AIDS and is with the National Institutes of Health in the U.S.
There was no indication that the vaccine was protecting against infection, and there was no indication that the vaccine was lowering the ultimate level of the virus after a person got infected.
Concerns had already been raised in 2007 about the safety of bisphenol A, a chemical found in plastic bottles and containers. The controversy grew in September 2008 when another study linked exposure from bisphenol A to the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and liver problems. By November, an independent scientific panel charged that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration ignored the potential danger. The FDA monitors the health risks of plastic food containers, utensils, and baby bottles. Mothers like Reagan Morris worried what effect bisphenol A might have on their babies.
It is scary. It is scary. You don't know what's true and what's false, so you might as well avoid it.
Mothers and fathers in China also had reason to be afraid after at least 6 children died and almost 300,000 others were sickened from milk contaminated with melamine. Some Chinese dairies had laced watered-down milk with the chemical so that it would appear to have higher protein levels. Thousands of families sought compensation. Chinese authorities have promised a safety overhaul of the country's dairies. There was an optimistic piece of news late in 2008. Researchers at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri, announced they had decoded the complete DNA of a cancer patient. The scientists say they hope to establish a simple blood test to help identify every cancer patient's genetic makeup. Oncologist Ross Levine says he expects the research will change the way patients are treated.
Deciding which patients should get which treatment, which patients need more treatment, which patients are more likely to have their cancer come back.
But in 2008, another deadly disease came back to haunt the people of Zimbabwe. The United Nations said in mid-December the death toll had climbed to more than 1,000 and was rising quickly. More than 20,000 others had been infected since the outbreak began in August. People contract cholera from contaminated food and water and develop severe diarrhea and dehydration. Health officials in Zimbabwe blame the spread of the disease on a lack of chemicals used in water treatment, as well as broken sewage pipes. Melinda Smith, VOA News.